Hello, family, from wherever you are watching me from this particular moment. I welcome you back to again our show, The Unscripted by NK. Now, uh, today I'll be telling you how we finally relocated from home to this strange, beautiful land with its culture shock. So, yeah, eventually we were able to move away from home, our first stop being in a town within our county, but we didn't stay there for long. We stayed there for only 2 years before we again relocated to the highlands. You know, this beautiful green land with beautiful rolling hills. It's very good and a very therapeutic scene to look at. There is something about the highlands with its green landscape. I think if you're looking forward to a place to just refreshen your mind, to reliven the inner you know, to recollect the you, it is in the highlands. So yeah, we found ourselves in Nakuru County, Kuresoi South constituency, at the heart of Mao Forest. Yeah. And for the first time, it was my first time seeing the bushes, tea bushes. I had not seen it. I had not even known that such a thing does exist. And, you know, I loved everything about that place. For the first time being away from home and, you know, you are in this land that, wow, the land of honey and milk. In fact, there was milk everywhere. At that time, a cup of milk in that areas was going at 5 bob. Imagine, guys, 5 bob. Literally, you could drink, bath, you know, in milk. So yeah, but then there was also something else about the highlands. We were met with this rude culture shock. Yeah, right from, you know, language barrier to their ways of life to, you know, uh, everything was strange. I can imagine that this was a land where basically 99.99% of the people there then never knew how to speak any other language other than their mother tongue. Yeah, so tough. Huh? So we had to assimilate by all means possible because the only language they knew was their native language. That was Kalenjin, Kipsigis then. And there is no way you are going to communicate with them without you learning their language. And again, who will teach you the language? Because you need to have a translator. And we're looking at people who do not even know Kiswahili at that matter. But we had to find our way out. And yes, we learned the language through thick and thin. We acquired that language for us to survive. The other culture shock was, you know, people, the FGM thing, girls getting circumcised. I had never heard about it until I got there. That other than boys being circumcised, the girls also could be circumcised or were being circumcised. So that sent me chills down my spine. I was like, wow. So does it mean I'm also going to be circumcised? And what exactly happens there? To this date, I've never known what happens there because they really do not talk about it. So they really cherish this act. I thank God right now the government is really striving to do away with that thing. But they really cherish that thing, and especially the girls themselves, to the point that any girl that was uncircumcised, they felt out of place totally. And the society or the community had even coined derogatory names to call those girls who were uncircumcised that it sounded like an insult to them. So if a circumcised girl is having an exchange with another girl that is circumcised, the circumcised would use that against this one. And you could see it. It could pain the uncircumcised to the point of even going physical. So every girl was on the run, yeah, to be circumcised. And funny enough, once they would undergo this thing, I don't know what would happen there. They would come out. You know, it is a transition. Circumcision is a transition to another stage, to adulthood, I'm told. But I don't know how it would bring out even the physical transformation. A girl leaves that wherever they would go, and you look at them, they have transformed even physically. They are not the same girls or the same girl that you used to know. Even the way they behave, even the way they walk. And funny enough, every girl that would go there, the many I knew, would come out of there ready to get married. I don't know whether the spouse or the partner was prepared, was just ready somewhere waiting for this girl to undergo that. Yeah, so yeah. And every man, of course, would always opt for the circumcised girl. Later on, I came to learn that it is something that was begun by men for their own selfish reasons, but they found a way of reversing it, that a woman in that community would regard herself worthless if she was not circumcised. So yeah, that's something that really scared me, and really I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to think about me, some parts of my body being mutilated. And also I didn't want to think about being married at a very tender age, because you'd find a girl 10 years or 12 and she's someone's wife, as it were. So education to them was not a thing that they really valued. Right now, go to those places, I'm sure they very soon they are going to outdo even the Western region that was known as academic giants. In the near future, the highlands or the Rift Valley is taking it over. So yeah, those were the culture shocks. Language barrier, FGM or female genital mutilation, illegal child marriage, and people not valuing education, as it were. And there was again another thing that was just peculiar. Uh, I don't know how to put these, but you looked abnormal if you'd be clean, you know, just taking a bath and putting on your clean clothes. Wherever you'd be passing, people would be looking at you as if you are from a different planet. Yeah. So those are the people I found myself in. And then the climate as well. It is very chilly, very wet. And so that's another thing that I found out that was a little bit not what I'm used to, because I remember there were times when I was in school, it could be very chilly to the point that you could not, or we could not hold a pen until it is around 10 or 11. And literally you could see blood on the surface of your palm. So the palms would literally be purple or red, as it were. So for you to try to manage that, you were to be in very warm clothes, right from top to head. There is a, this is funny, guys. There is a time one guy burnt his leg while in gumboot. So he was, around a bonfire, uh, trying to have himself warm, and accidentally his gumboot melted to the point of touching the skin rather. By the time he's feeling the pain, the band had gone deeper. So that is how chilly it was in those regions. Yeah. So yeah. And another thing was, since they didn't really, education wasn't their thing, schools were not there. Schools were far away, and the closest school that we went to, and which was of course the only option, because of the distance proximity, was around 4 to 5 kilometers away. And again, going to that school was another horrible nightmare, because other than the distance itself, you were to go through hills and valleys, and the hills are so steep. You were to go through bushes, and it became worse when it could rain. Yeah, and especially for the girls, for we the girls, then there was something about the boys. They would really enjoy the season or the time when it has rained. So when the bell would ring for going back home, the boys would literally run to outshine us, the girls, so that they could slide down the slope, and they would derive pleasure from that, because they would sit down the slope and, watch as the girls laugh at us as we would walk on fours, yeah, trying to navigate through. But still on fours would, you know, fall down countless times. So you get home, you're muddy, you're wet, and everything. So that was life there in a nutshell. But then later on, you know, um, we came to get assimilated and enjoyed being around. In fact, it is my second home. I have a very soft spot for the highlands. And where I see tea bushes, it gives me that memory. And it is so beautiful, as it were. One of these days, if you've not been there, just take a trip there. I kid you not, you'll come out of the place feeling rejuvenated, yeah, and fresh. Guys, you don't want to know how it feels. Thank you. Bye for now.